Okay, the race here today is coming from Phillip Island Circuit, 2.76 mile, 12 turn road course. We skipped qualifying on purpose here. We're starting, it looks like about ninth, I believe, somewhere in there. Um, and so let's get to the race here.
14 laps.
Not a great start. Spun the tires quite a bit. Been having some trouble with the starts recently. Not quite sure why. Have to figure that out. Sail it into turn one. And you see a little bit of jockeying around there. This was kind of interesting. We'll go chase view here. We'll go far chase view, maybe chopper view. Trying to find a good camera angle for this. This track is tough. Um, the cameras just aren't so close. Um, okay, so we're approaching this 9 car here. I'll go half speed here. Um, so we're going through turn one right now at the start, and then we're going into turn two. I see this car braking and kind of going for the middle of the track, so I decided to go for the outside. And then as I do that, you start squeezing me out on the brake, so I get on the brake harder and cut across to the inside. Um, but I'm aware that there's another car to farther inside. Um, can't quite see it here. Um, but I know that there's other 3 cars coming up. I can see it in the mirror, so I'm a little bit careful not to cut all the way down to the inside um, in case he's going to dive it in there. Uh, so this was kind of I mean, it happens fast, but I'm sort of happy I avoided this because this was a easy first lap collision situation. When you look at it in real time. So we definitely would have gotten collected and pushed off track if I stayed wide, if I stayed on that outside. There's a heavy braking turn. See, there were some cars collected here.
Sorry, I locked up.
So this was weird. Um, there's these cars wrecking in front of us here. Um,
My fault. Sorry, I locked up.
I thought I was going to be clear. I kind of wasn't really, I don't know, brain fart or this car didn't appear for me or something. This was a strange situation because I sort of lost track of them. So if we watch this from the in car, switch our, just got our field of view wrong here. It's reasonable for playback here. Okay, so we'll watch this from in car.
My fault. Sorry, I locked up.
So I'm, I'm looking down the track here at the next apex. I'm not looking like what's to the left of me. And so once this car to my left, we had kind of gotten sort of next to him here
Sorry, I locked up.
with everything else that was going on. I kind of, I guess, forgot about him or something. I don't know what happened. I didn't, I was no longer thinking about him. I'm looking at the next apex and kind of taking sort of a normal line. And so I bumped into him. So that's what happened.
Sorry, sir.
So I was apologizing to him because that was completely my fault. Luckily, it was just
Sorry, Brent. I had no idea you were there. I don't know how that happened.
this turn is kind of tricky. You got to brake gently for it as you turn up on the inside here on this curbing, and then hard braking. Uh, Crank it down right for the apex there and get back on the throttle. And this is next turn up here to the left is the one that leads onto the front straightaway. So getting this arc just right so you can stay full throttle all the way from 2 turns back all the way through here. Uh, Sometimes there's no problem, and sometimes you're drifting out wide towards the grass. So arcing that just right is important. Let's go ahead and try to switch to a better camera. Some of these cameras are really far away, so it doesn't give the greatest view of some of the close action here. But basically, it's a kind of a long flowing circuit. There are not a lot of braking markers. Um, so at this point, we are running in fourth. Let's go ahead and jump up to some of these faster guys and see if we can see anything that they're doing differently. Dudo Castro here is, I think he qualified at like a 142.6, I want to say, which is pretty awesome lap time. I think my fastest ever is a 143.6. So when you only get 2 laps for qualifying and to crank out that lap, he's definitely very quick. And you can see he's stretching out a lead on second. So he's kind of in another zip code. And then these two guys, the 4 has the benefit of the draft, the car right in front of him. But these guys are both pretty quick, it seems, too. But it looks like the lead car starting to put a gap. And that's us. And then we got Jeff Cantor here behind us. So he also, it seemed, skipped qualifying, or maybe he messed up his qualifying lap, but based on how smooth he drives, I think he skipped qualifying just to start from the back for extra challenge or fun, trying to avoid some of the chaos. He closed in there. He seems to get into that turn a little bit better, that downhill with a tight right-hander at the end. So we're working lap 3. Just leading onto the front straightaway here. So Jeff is closing up here. Let's maybe go on board with him. He is starting to get closer. Maybe this view gets us a little better perspective. He's pretty good through here too. Well, that time he locked it up a little bit. But you could hear the where he gets on the throttle and the shifting here. I feel like he got through that turn a little bit better most of the time than I did. And then I feel like I was a little bit quicker coming up to this right-hander here. I'm trying to take a wide arc into that turn there. It helps me get down to the apex and get back to the throttle a little bit quicker. So we're still riding along with Jeff here. You can kind of see how our lines compare. I was way farther to the inside than he is here. I missed my apex on that one. And so you see with me missing the apex, he closed up like a car length or so, um, maybe two, uh, just for that one little difference in line, little mistake. So now he's got a great draft. I kind of arced it out slightly before going to the turn, just trying to get the weight to shift to the outside to help those tires plant. You can hear him playing with the throttle here. He's got a bit of a run, not quite enough to get there, but um, definitely closed up another car length or so. We're kind of late apexing that little hairpin there, you can see. Missed the apex a bit, which I think was kind of common for me. I don't think I'm getting down to the apex enough through that turn. Kind of braking and turning. Uh, so he's definitely there now. Definitely in the draft, closing up. It's not really a great spot to try to pull off a pass, surprisingly, um, because you need to use all the track. I mean, you can definitely get a run and have the momentum to pull off the pass. It's just, it can be kind of treacherous executing the pass, I should say. So now we're heading down the hill, heading towards, I guess it's turn 4 into this sharp right-hander here. So normally with the kind of run he had on me, somebody would try to make a move up the inside coming into that right-hander, but um, he missed his apex a little bit there. Lost him a car length or two to us. We're hugging that inside. When I get it just right, it works, but they don't seem to be super consistent there. I take a much wider entry there, but it doesn't really seem to be gaining me anything. It's like Jeff's taking a straighter entry behind us. So this is, there's a start finish line right there. We're on lap 7 of 14. Uh, oh, Jeff sails it kind of up the inside there. Stay with camera 2 here. Looks like a little bit better view. So I am defending the inside for this next right-hander. Where that's what I was kind of hanging out there for. It didn't sound like he was going to go for it, but I'm uh, at this point I had noticed he didn't seem to be charging turn 4, so I went ahead and took the normal racing line there just to not leave any lose any more lap time to the cars in front of us. Might be able to hear the tires squealing a little bit there. I'm definitely at the limit, using the curbs and that sort of thing. So I'm chirping the tires a little bit. Like Jeff's definitely closed up as we come onto the front straightaway here. So he goes to the far left side of the track, which is a normal kind of racing line. Uh, I decided to hit the brakes a little bit here and just duck in behind. I didn't want to challenge coming through turn one, and so I just I tapped the brakes to uh, shut off a little bit of speed to just follow him through here. And then he kind of bobbles it going into turn two. Because I was going to be content to stay behind him for a bit and just chase him around, stay in his draft. But he kind of overshot the next turn a bit, so uh, I just went ahead and took the spot back. Because I realized there's 7 laps to go, so I was fine to follow, and he seemed like maybe he was a little bit quicker in spots. So I thought I could learn something being behind him, but I don't know if that was just nerves or what. And then he went off a little bit there, into the gravel just a little bit, and so that cost him probably 2 car lengths for that slight little excursion. Switch back to a slightly wider camera angle here. I don't think I like this camera. Let's stay with 2. Um, so let's go ahead and maybe we'll go on board. Maybe that's a better way to go. So we're on board with Jeff looking towards the back of our car. So it's just a slight braking, and you almost don't even lift off the throttle, or partial lift. And then here you brake a little harder and lift definitely more back out of the throttle. He definitely gets a little better through that turn. So I saw him coming. I saw he had a head of steam. I went ahead and like left the outside. Let's back this up here. Um, Gotta learn how to get faster with these camera controls. Um, all right. So I said hit a full head of steam here, and I wanted to protect the inside for the next turn. So I stayed at the outside here, knowing this is going to be the inside line for the next turn, and then try to outbrake him. And I locked it up a little bit on the way in, but luckily he gave me enough room, and we were able to collect it, and we both survived. But um, that was I saw he had that momentum, and it got a better exit. And I knew before that he wasn't super aggressive heading into this sharp right-handed or kind of hairpin there. So uh, I decided to continue challenging uh, through there, and it worked out. We're able to maintain the position there. So he's got the benefit of the draft again down the straightaway. Uh, Seems to lift out of it though. Like he was closing up pretty quickly and then lifted out. We're on lap 10 of 14. Oof, I slid that kind of wide there. So again, coming through, I think this is probably turn 5. Um, he closes up a little bit, not as much as he had been through there. I'm getting a little bit better. And then now into this right-hander, I think this is turn 6. Oh, he gets me on an exit. So I must have missed my apex a bit. Maybe I drove it in a little too deep there. And let's see what happens here. Let's go slow-mo. Uh, yeah, it looks like I'm missing the apex here. I didn't get the car turned enough. Look at there's a whole car width and a half there. So I just missed the apex, and he definitely gets the apex right there. Um, so that's the deal. So actually, I don't know what camera we want here. So now we're side by side going through here. We keep it side by side. And now he's able to clear. He's pulled out a couple car lengths here. Coming onto the straightaway. Using all the track. Trying to carry as much speed as possible on there. We've got a great run. We're now down to like 2 car lengths. Tap the brake a little early. I debated bump drafting him. Uh, some people aren't real happy with that. I decided not to bump draft. So the reason I didn't try to go for the pass on the front straight. Oh, now we got a little bit of a run going. Dove it to the inside. Hit the apex. He looks for the crossover, but um, we had enough momentum. So I was gonna say the reason I didn't go for the pass on the front stretch, because turn 1 it gets a little hairy in that long bend, and I was thinking for a second maybe we're faster behind him. Maybe the two of us working together, being in the draft down the straightaway. Maybe he's faster other parts of the track, so maybe we turn faster lap times if we're behind him. Um, but when I saw the moment to be able to pull off the pass, I went for it. So it looks like he's closing up a little bit as we approach front straightaway. He takes a little bit different line there. I got onto the curb. It's like I'm kind of binding my car up a bit, and he's able to roll through there a little more free. Then he takes it into turn 1. I thought for a second about trying to go around the outside through turn 2, but uh, decided it was going to be too dangerous. He thinks about making his car a little wider as we approach turn 4 here. Again, we go dive it up the inside. Let's see how close that was. It looked close from this angle. We'll go slow-mo. He outbrakes himself, I think, a bit because he can't quite get down to the apex, and he knows we're to the inside, so uh, he's a bit compromised there. So again, now we're running side by side again. You got to kind of change your braking, change your parts where you pick up the throttle because you don't have full width of the track. Trying to leave him respectable amount of space and not squeeze him completely, but and he seems to be doing the same. He lost the rear end a little bit. I should have drifted out a little wider there. Use more of the track on the exit of that turn. I kind of pinched off my momentum there. So we're still side by side. And the moment of truth, sailing it down into turn one. What are we going to do? Looks like he lifts out of it a little bit. Oh, but he gets a great run coming out of turn two there. Again, late on the brakes. Got the apex just right. And we're able to clear him. So we are on lap 13 of 14 scheduled. Hit the inside curve a bit. Caused us to drift a little bit wide. It's the white flag. So we're sailing it off for the last time into turn one here. Hang tough on the outside. Trying to. Using all the track. Almost slid off the track right there. Looked like the rear tires came all the way out to the white line. And it's a repeat of what we've seen before here. We're heading towards turn four. Right-hander. We got the inside. And we make it stick. But we're still side by side. Ooh. About to come over the hill here. Looks like he's giving it everything he's worth there. Don't spin the tires too much coming out of here. He's trying to set up an outside to inside move, it looked like. Now here we come onto the straightaway for the last time. And the flag stands pretty far down the there it is, there it is, there it is. And we get him by half a car. Uh, so there's a little bit of a uh, defensive move here. Um, Maybe we'll go chopper cam. All right. So we come onto the front stretch. I'm kind of meandering a little bit, uh, sort of making him guess which way I'm going to go, and just to try to mess up his momentum a little bit. And it's enough. Uh, so we get him by almost a car length. But that kind of wiggle, I think, helped us get that to work. But thanks for watching. Great race.